Hi there, guys. My name is Matt. I'm the event coordinator here with PACE, and today I'm joined by my colleague Callie, who's from our enrollment team. She specializes in coordinating our undergraduate courses. We're delighted to welcome you today to this introduction to the University of Cambridge Professional and Continuing Education, otherwise known as PACE. And whether you're actively considering applying for one of our undergraduate courses, or if you're simply exploring your options, today's session is designed to help you understand who we are, what makes studying with us distinct from a more traditional undergraduate experience, and what support is available to you throughout your learning journey with us. This session is going to cover a sort of a greatest hits of our frequently asked questions from our undergraduate applicants. You'll have had the option to send your questions to us in advance whenever you registered for this event, and we're going to cover as many of those questions as we can over the next half an hour. You can also leave us live questions to respond to using the Q&A function that's at the bottom of your screen. So please feel free to do that throughout the event. I can't guarantee that we'll get to all of the live questions, but we'll cover as many as we can, and any glaring omissions will be answered during our post-event follow-up email later this week. Similarly, if you have any burning questions left at the end of this session that you would like to ask Callie or another member of our enrollment team, please feel free to reach out to us via the contact form on our website. My colleague Miracle from the TEL team is going to be helping us out with tech support, and we'll be posting helpful links in the chat throughout, so please keep an eye out there for useful supporting videos and articles from our website. Choosing what to study and where to study is obviously a very significant decision. Our hope is that by the end of this session, you'll have a much better understanding of whether PACE could be the right fit for you, what studying at Cambridge is really like, and what steps you might want to take next during your application. This is the first of three bite-sized sessions that we're running this week. Tomorrow's event will go more into detail about the application process, including available bursaries and financial support. And Thursday's event will feature three of our students who can speak directly to their experience of learning with us. All of these sessions will be recorded and will be available to view on our YouTube channel by the end of the week. So speaking about who we are, quickly, Professional and Continuing Education is the University of Cambridge's largest and longest established provider of part-time education. For more than 150 years, we've been widening access to Cambridge learning, creating opportunities for people from all backgrounds to benefit from world-class university teaching. Our belief is simple: learning should never be restricted by age, background, or location. What unites our learners is a shared curiosity, an ambition, and a desire to continue their growing and learning, regardless of their stage of life. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Callie, who will speak to how our undergraduate qualifications work and how the PACE experience differs from that of a traditional higher education experience. Take it away, Callie.
Thank you, Matt, and good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. So here at PACE, our undergraduate courses offer flexible part-time online study that's specifically designed for adult learners and career changers. So our learners can choose from certificates, diplomas, and advanced diplomas across a diverse range of subject areas, including creative writing, history, psychology, business, and more. You'll be able to access a full list of our undergraduate courses, if you haven't done so already, that are currently open for application via our website, or my colleague Miracle will be posting a link in the chat, which will take you directly to the webpage that lists them all. So our undergraduate courses are designed to be accessible for those who are returning to study or looking to completely change their careers. Our certificate level undergraduate courses require no prior academic or work experience within the subject area. And we'll go into a little bit more detail about our application process in the support session tomorrow. But just to give you a couple of the key kind of requirements that are the key requirements that are in place, for our undergraduate applications. The first one really is simply just completing the course application form, and that includes entering any basic personal details and a brief idea of your educational background. The second is a short personal statement, and we will provide more guidance around what you should include in that, and we'll go into more detail again, as I said, in that session tomorrow. For our diploma courses, you may be asked to provide a writing sample alongside your personal statement. And for our advanced diplomas, if you're considering one of those courses, you'll need to provide a research proposal. Finally, the last requirement that is applicable across all of our undergraduate courses is that if English is not your first language, you'll need to meet one of our accepted language proficiency requirements. And some of the tests that are available for you, if you've already got them, that you can provide, or if you need to do them, are IELTS, the academic version, IELTS for UKVI academic, or IELTS 1 skill retake, or the Cambridge English C2 proficiency test. So all of our undergraduate diploma courses do have certificate counterparts. So it is common that we see our learners progress through a full pathway of study with us. So for instance, if I use our English literature pathway as an example, we have two versions of the certificate course in English literature. Some of our students will then progress onto one of the two diploma English literature courses, and then potentially will go on to one of our advanced diplomas and use English literature as a subject specialism. Some of them will then maybe progress on to postgraduate and master level courses if that is something that they want to do. But just to show you that there is a pathway process that you can follow. Not everybody decides to do that, but it is available if that's something that you're interested in doing. As I said, not everybody wants to start off at a certificate level. Some people do have prior work or academic experience in a relevant subject area. So if you have done an English literature degree before and you'd like to jump straight into our diploma or advanced diplomas, you are able to do that. You just need to evidence that specific academic or work experience that you've got in your application. So all of our undergraduate qualifications carry recognised academic credit. So they start at a level 4, they go up to a level 6, and each of them awards 60 credits on successful completion. It is worth noting that successfully completing a course grants you full University of Cambridge alumni status. And that is new as of 2024. So a really exciting opportunity for students to become part of the wider University of Cambridge alumni network. Accessing our courses and doing our courses is a really practical, high quality pathway for learners who want Cambridge level education without needing to relocate, study full time, or commit to that traditional 3-year undergraduate bachelor degree. Our students here at Pace are taught by highly experienced Cambridge academics, and they are taught through a combination of live sessions, recorded content, and independent study. And our students have access to extensive learning resources and support services, both within Pace, but also from the wider University of Cambridge as well. So we're asked a lot of the time, what makes Cambridge different? What's your unique selling point? What I would really like to emphasise is that when you choose Cambridge and when you choose professional and continuing education, you're not just enrolling on a course, you're becoming part of one of the world's most inspiring learning communities. And what makes our experience so unique is the incredible diversity of the people you'll learn alongside. Our students come from all walks of life. Some are taking their next step after school, others are career changers. Some people are developing professionally or potentially returning to education after many years away. And each of those people bring a wealth of knowledge, experiences, and perspectives that make every one of our classroom conversations richer. At Cambridge, learning isn't about sitting back and listening, it's about engaging with ideas, asking questions, challenging assumptions, and sharing your own experiences. And our tutors are fantastic at creating an environment where every voice matters, encouraging really lively discussions and collaboration that helps everybody deepen their understanding across the subject area. And that exchange of ideas is what makes studying here so rewarding. You'll leave Pace and Cambridge with far more than new knowledge or a qualification. You'll build confidence, you'll broaden your perspective, and you'll become part of a supportive community of learners who continue to inspire one another long after the course is finished. A lot of our students tell us that the connections that they make here are just as valuable as what they learn in the classroom, and that the friendships, professional networks, and the personal relationships formed through our courses and studying with us here at Pace often last for years. And it really helps our students open doors to new opportunities and create a lifelong connection to the University of Cambridge. So we know that applying anywhere, but specifically to the University of Cambridge, can feel daunting. And that's why the support begins way before you even start your application. So, as Matt introduced, I work in the enrolment team, and my colleagues and I can help answer questions about your courses, your application, or the student experience more broadly, if that's something that you're interested in knowing more about. We also have a really fantastic group of academics who are really happy to answer any questions that you have if you're struggling to decide between courses potentially. Um, Earlier this year, we held a series of undergraduate open events, which go into a little bit more detail on our courses. They're delivered by our academic directors and course directors, and they have a student representative, so you can hear directly from a student potentially studying on a course that you're interested in to get those real life examples of what it's like to study here at Pace. My colleague Miracle has linked those open event recordings in the chat, along with some short course specific introduction videos that you're welcome to watch in your own time. Once you enroll onto a course, students gain access to our virtual learning environment, and our virtual learning environment is where all of your teaching will happen. But in addition to that, you can access early resources that will help you get study ready. So we have an undergraduate resource area which all students can access, and there's course specific content in there. There's academic guidance, learning support, wellbeing services, all designed to really help you feel like you have the skills in place ahead of your course beginning. And that's open to you from the minute you book and enroll onto your course. Matt, I think I'm going to hand over to you now to talk about some of our other study options here at Pace.
Certainly. Thank you very much, Callie. Reminder, please feel free to ask us your questions. If you want any more information about some of those support resources that we have, please feel free to just drop your questions in the Q&A. I'm going to speak quickly about some of our other study options that we have available, because often we have people who are maybe not quite ready to start a full undergraduate qualification with us. So I just want to highlight some of the other options. We have a series of weekend courses that are hosted here so our base is Madingley Hall, which is based just outside of Cambridge, and we host a series of weekend courses throughout the year on a variety of topics that are residential, very immersive study experiences hosted at Madingley Hall. We also have a series of 7-week online courses that might provide more of what you're after on a shorter time frame. You could also apply for a place on our renowned international summer program. Successful applicants for this program get the full residential Cambridge experience, where they get to live at a Cambridge college for up to 4 weeks of immersive learning during the summer. As we're recording this, our 2026 International Summer Program is underway, so it's too late to apply for that one. But applications for our 2027 program will be opening in December later this year. Once again, my colleague Miracle is going to drop details for all of these in the chat, so I encourage you to consider those if you're maybe not quite ready to start the full undergraduate experience. So that brings us to the end of this PACE primer. We're shortly going to move on to our questions, but before that, I just wanted to remind people what the next steps available to them are. If you're fully convinced, if you're ready to apply, if you're midway through an application already, you'll find all the key information and the key links to be able to submit your application on our course pages. Do sign up to our session tomorrow. That's linked in the chat. If you want a bit more guidance on the application process. If you need any more information, please do get in touch with us either via the Q&A right now or via the contact us form on our website. And as I just mentioned, if you're not certain you want to commit to a full UG yet, please do have a look at our weekend and short courses as well as the International Summer Program to see if there's anything there that might be of interest to you. As Callie mentioned earlier, there's also a wealth of information on our YouTube channel from our recent undergraduate open days and the course overview videos that we've produced. So they might be able to help you answer any more granular questions about course content that you might have. So we'll now move on to questions. So I'm going to field questions from the Q&A and from our pre-submitted questions list. I'm going to field them to Callie. So I think one thing that we haven't addressed during the main part is there, Callie, is there a minimum age requirement for people looking to apply for our courses?
Yes, yeah, Matt, there is. And apologies, I didn't make that clear. Yes, so to study on our any of our courses, actually, students need to be 18. So our courses are designed for adult learners, so you would need to be 18 to attend.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Yes, I was at the Central University Undergraduate Open Day a couple of weeks ago. We've obviously got lots of people who are preparing to leave school who aren't quite old enough to be able to study with us yet. So that is a very important distinction. It's got to be 18 and over
Yeah.
before applying for us.
And
Um,
just to say, just to touch on that as well, Matt, we do get queries from students who are going to be turning 18 before the course starts. So you are absolutely able to apply at 17 as long as you're 18 by the time the course starts. So our for our undergraduate courses, they start in October. So if you turn 17 the August before, you are welcome to apply. It's just you need to be 18 the day of the course starting.
Thank you very much. Quick logistical question. How does someone apply for and enroll for one of the courses?
So it's really easy to navigate. We've got a lovely new website which launched last year. But essentially, what you do is you visit our website, and I know Miracle's put some links in the chat directly to our website. You find the course that you're interested in, and when you're on the course page, you scroll down. There'll be an Apply Now button. If you click that, that will take you through to a student portal where you will, if you're new to PACE, you'll create an account. If you're a returning student, you will just log in using your login details. If you've forgotten those login details, it's absolutely fine. You just hit the forgot password button and you'll be sent a reset link. And from there, you'll be able to follow the application steps for your course. And be able to submit. And as Matt mentioned, and I mentioned during the talk earlier, if you have any questions at all, or if you get stuck for whatever reason, you can reach out to myself or my colleagues in the enrolment team, and we'll be happy to support you through that process. But it is fairly straightforward and simple.
Hmm. Fantastic. Thank you, Kelly. So this is one of our pre-prepared questions or pre-sourced questions. What are the main challenges and opportunities for students studying from outside Cambridge or internationally? And that includes scholarship opportunities.
So, we'll start with the opportunities. I think one of the biggest opportunities for our international students is that you're able to access a Cambridge education from anywhere in the world. So, as we mentioned, our undergraduate portfolio are delivered online, and those courses attract students from across the globe. So you'll be learning alongside people with a wide range of professional, cultural, uh, lots of different life experiences, which really enriches that learning experience. So I think that's probably one of the main opportunities is that you can access that Cambridge level experience and that Cambridge level teaching directly from wherever you are in the world. The main challenge that I would say is usually managing time zones. All of our teaching is delivered live online and sessions are recorded. But depending on where you're based, you'll need to think about whether the live session times work for you. But that being said, we do have students joining us from all over the world every year. So it is absolutely possible with a bit of planning and if that works for you. Um, you are able to just watch back the recorded sessions, but I think if you really want to get the most out of studying with us at Cambridge, being involved in those live seminars where you can have really fantastic discussions with your tutor and your peers is really beneficial. Um, Scholarship opportunities, so funding support. So as Matt mentioned, we do have a range of bursary options that are available. And again, we'll go into more detail on those in the next session. We run a number of bursaries every year. The bursary round for this year has closed. It closed on the 30th of June. But there will be opportunities to apply for funding your course potentially starting next year if you were looking at a 2027 start. So it's worth keeping an eye out on our website for any kind of future application dates. But we do offer bursary and financial support for all students, international and home students. Um, but I suppose just to summarize, I think studying online means that international students aren't at a disadvantage. So I wouldn't say there's huge challenges for our international audience. You'll have access to the same expert teaching, the same learning resources, the same academic support, and the global Cambridge community as everyone else. So it doesn't matter where you're joining us from, you'll have the same access as students that are studying in the UK.
Fantastic. Thank you, Callie. Yeah, that's covered a few of the pre-prepared points that we've had there. So I'm just going to quickly segue to a live question. We've
Mhm.
had a live question from Naomi saying, if a place has already been offered, how long is the offer valid for?
So it's a really good question, Amy. Thank you. So you will have your offer will be held up until the booking deadline, which is the 22nd of September. So you have up until the 22nd of September to make your decision. What I will say is, it depends on whether you've been given an offer or a conditional offer. So if you've been given a conditional offer, what I would say is meet your conditions as soon as possible because the booking deadline still stands at the 22nd. So to accept your offer, you need to book your place on the course, which will mean paying for the first instalment, or paying your £50 deposit if you're funding your course via a student loan. But you have until the 22nd of September to do that. The deadline, I think the time is 11:59 at night. Bear in mind if you are in a different time zone, factor that in because it may be that it creeps into the next day for you. So if just always base it on BST, British Summer Time, 11:59 on the 22nd of September is the final chance you have to book your place on your course.
Thank you very much. I'm going to combine a couple of questions that relate to the method of delivery for our online sessions. So,
Sure.
are you able to just sort of quickly talk us through, Callie, how does the online teaching work,
Mhm.
and how many hours a week should people expect to be engaging with their tutors and fellow students online?
Yeah, sure. So, all of our undergraduate online courses are delivered through our virtual learning environment, or VLE. You might see quoted on our website a little bit. So, once you've enrolled onto your course, our TEL team, so Miracle, who's on the call today, posting our chats, is part of the technology enhanced learning team here at Pace, who are fantastic. They will be in touch with you directly to give you some onboarding details of how you access the virtual learning environment. You'll be given a login and a direct link for you to go in and access your course space. What I will say is, once you enroll, you don't automatically get put into your course space. They don't tend to open until shortly before teaching starts, so around the end of September time. What you will have access to is our undergraduate resource area in the VLE space. So I mentioned this briefly earlier, but you'll get access to a range of kind of get study ready resources before your course begins. You'll be able to familiarize yourself with the virtual learning environment and how it works and how you navigate around that. And then, as I said, shortly before your course starts, you'll get your course specific VLE space. And there you'll find all of your live session links, your learning materials, recordings, assessments, and everything that you need throughout your studies. It is a really straightforward process, but we give you the opportunity to access the virtual learning environment long before your course starts, just so you can really embed yourself in the space and understand how it works. In terms of the hours, was it how many hours a week?
Yeah. How much
Study.
contact time will they have with their tutors and fellow students? And then maybe let's also add in how many hours a week should they expect to
Right.
study?
Okay,
That
fine.
that
So
distinction there.
So on both sets of questions, it varies on course by course, but in terms of the contact time that you'll have with your tutors and fellow students, um, again, depending on the teaching timetable, you'll have lots of opportunities to engage with both your tutors and your fellow students throughout your studies. You'll meet your tutors during the live teaching sessions, and many of our tutors do actually choose to run additional kind of informal or social sessions during the course as well. So there'll be opportunities for you to engage with them via those sessions too. Outside of the scheduled teaching, you can contact your tutors at any time. And you can do that through the virtual learning environment as well. There'll be an opportunity for you to reach out directly to your tutors for any questions or guidance that you may need. And they're great. They'll be able to provide answers to your questions or provide tutor support. If you need some study skill support, they're also on hand for that too. When it comes to engagement with your peers, that really is up to you. And again, it varies depending on who's in your course cohort. You can be involved as much or as little as you like. So the VLE space will provide you with some really good discussion spaces where you can connect with your cohort. We often find that some of our students, off of their own back, will create their own WhatsApp groups to continue conversations or discuss lectures, support one another, and really build those friendships and networks throughout the year. And when it comes to teaching hours and how many hours a week you kind of should expect to study, um, there will be recommended hours in your course guide, and you get access to those once you've enrolled. But just to give you a rough idea, the Quality Assurance Agency suggests around 10 hours of learning for each academic credit. And our undergraduate courses are worth 60 credits in total, spread across the 3 terms, the year of teaching. So that works out about 600 hours of study time. But just to make you aware, 600 hours won't be us talking to you and teaching you for 600 hours. It includes reading course materials, independent study, preparing and completing your assignments, any revision, engaging with your learning resources. So that makes up the 600 hours across the year of study.
Fantastic. Thank you, Callie. I've just been made aware that I set up the chat wrong, so I've now set it up correctly. So viewers, prepare for a deluge of links from Miracle. Thank you very much. I'll field a quick question from Naomi. This ties in with a question we have about needing do I need to attend every session live? And Naomi's said regarding timetable, it might not be able to make the very first session scheduled. Obviously, it's not ideal. These sessions are designed for you to be able to watch them after the fact. Like Callie said, we have people joining these sessions from all over the world, so sometimes the timing doesn't quite work around their work or life commitments. So yes, absolutely, we can be flexible. Try to make as many as you can, but yes, we can be flexible around attending individual sessions.
Yeah.
And then another live question, Callie, from Toby saying, the undergraduate course subject I'm interested in has a certificate and a diploma level. How can I find out, or how might I go about finding which option might be the more suitable one for me? So how do you choose between certificate and diploma?
So I think it all depends, Toby, really on what your background is. So I would say if it's a new subject for you, if you've never studied this particular subject area before, or if you don't have any kind of relevant work or life experience in that subject area, I would say definitely and start off at the certificate level. It's a really great foundational level where you can really learn lots more about the subject area. Just to say as well, our certificates are taught at year one level of study, and our diplomas are taught at year two. So it is that next level up. So if you don't have any kind of level four qualifications in that area or work experience, I'd say start with the certificate. If you do and you've studied that area before, or you've got relevant work experience, then I would say definitely have a look at applying at the diploma level. Our diplomas are all reviewed by the academic directors. So if they feel that actually maybe you would benefit a certificate, they will just offer you the certificate level anyways. So yeah, I think it all depends on your background, Toby, if I'm being totally honest. But feel free to reach out to us in the enrollment team if you've got any real specific questions about that.
And as Callie mentioned previously, our academics are very communicative. They're very happy to help advise people on what pathway to take, what might be best suitable to them.
Yeah.
Another live question, and that ties into the Cambridge alumni status. So, what does the CAM card and the CAM alumni card give our learners access to? I'm conscious we're coming up to time, so we'll go a couple of minutes over, but we'll answer as many questions as we can without going too far over.
So the alumni card, so is it the alumni card or the student card?
Cambridge ID card
Cambridge
is
ID
what
card.
Rosalie's asked, but we could cover both
You touch on
potentially.
both. So
Yeah.
the student card, so everybody, once you've enrolled, you'll get access to the student card. The student card will give you access. So if you're based in the UK and you come to Cambridge, it will give you access to the university library. You can go into and visit some of our colleges with a guest. You can get discount at the Botanic Gardens, and then you can get discount at a range of different shops based in Cambridge. If you're an international student, you will still receive an ID card, and you can still gain access to a range of different discounts that are online, if you so wish. You can apply for student cards using your Cambridge ID card. Um, the only thing that you won't obviously be able to access is any kind of in-person opportunities unless you visited Cambridge. If you came and visited Cambridge on holiday or came over in the summer, you'd be able to access the library and the colleges as well. And the same with
Amazing.
our alumni card, you'll get lots of different opportunities to uh, get some benefits and
Yeah.
discounts off of shops and all that kind of thing.
It gives you full access to the University of Cambridge online journal resources as well. So all the study resources available to University of Cambridge students, all the online journals, etc., will be available to our current and former students as well. I'm going to do a couple of quickfire ones, just talking about subject areas. We've got one saying, what courses are available in subjects such as archaeology, creative writing, art history, and chemistry? We have all of those except chemistry at the moment at the undergraduate level. Are there weekend or short course options, particularly for creative writing? Yes, there are some very popular weekend retreats for creative writing. Our creative writing community are particularly active and very collaborative. They run lots of events. What continuing education opportunities are there available for experienced or retired learners? As we've said previously, all of our courses are designed to be accessible to people regardless of what stage of life they're at. We have students who join us who are fresh out of school. We have people who are in their 80s. We have family groups. I think on our philosophy course, we've got a mother and son pairing who are doing a course together. So it really, and that diversity of background really enhances the student experience for a lot of our learners. So the full lists are available in the links that my colleague Miracle has put in the chat. But yeah, we cover all of those areas mentioned. We're working on our STEM side of things, but yeah, we're very well covered on the archaeology, creative writing, and art history, as this person asked. Um, as we're coming up to time, there's one more question from Rosalie live saying, is applying the same as enrolling? You had a couple of points there about the distinction between
Yes.
conditional and confirmed offer. So could you just restate that
Yes.
quickly?
Yeah, no, so they are different, Rosalie. So applying, essentially you will apply for the course and submit your application, you've applied. After that has been reviewed by our academic team, they will then either offer you a conditional offer for the course that you're interested in, or maybe suggest another course that may be a little bit more relevant, or another level that may be more relevant. Um, Once you've met your conditions, so conditional offers may be an English language test or assessment, and it will always be uploading a ID document, so a passport, driving license, that kind of thing. Once you've met those conditions, you'll then be issued with an offer. Once you have been issued with an offer, you can then book your place on your course, so paying that first instalment or the £50 deposit if you're enrolling via a student loan. And then once you've paid that first instalment, you will then have enrolled onto the course, and that's when you'll get access to the undergraduate resource area and the VLE, and all of that kind of fun stuff.
Amazing. Thank you. It would be worth us restating the timeline for some of these. So can you just recap what the deadlines are for application submission, and the submission of those extra requirements?
Yes, absolutely. So if you're interested in an advanced diploma, they close on the 2nd of August. So the deadline's approaching quite soon. If you are applying for any of our certificates or diplomas, they close on the 2nd of September. So you'll need to make sure you've submitted your applications by those dates. And then you'll have up until the 22nd of September to enroll on the course, so book your place, and pay that first instalment fee. But you will need to have met those conditions before you're offered the booking link to enroll on the course.
Thank you, thank you. I will field one last question before we go into the final thoughts. One question saying, how can I get involved in events and continue learning with Cambridge Pace? So in terms of in-person events that our learners have the opportunity to access, at the start of every academic year, we have a student welcome event that's hosted in person at Madingley Hall. This year, it's going to take place on Saturday, the 26th of September. It's a really great opportunity for learners to meet their cohort before they get started, to meet their academic director in person, and also collect their student ID card. That then is bookended at the end of their academic year by our award ceremony that tends to take place in April or May, and that's our equivalent to a graduation where we can meet again in central Cambridge to celebrate the completion of your studies with us. In terms of other events, we are looking to put on more student networking dinners that would be kind of the equivalent to college dinners. So there are opportunities to engage with us throughout the year, and we're looking on having more of them for people who live locally or who want to travel to Cambridge to get the full in-person Cambridge experience. So thank you all for your live questions. I think we've answered them all. I'm just going to wrap us up now. So if you do need any more information following this session, please get in touch with us via the contact form on our website. There's the wealth of information that's available on our YouTube channel that might help to answer some of your course-specific questions. And finally, please remember to sign up for our events that are taking place tomorrow and Thursday. Tomorrow we'll be focusing on application support, and Thursday will be a student-focused session where you can ask them directly about what their experience has been like studying with us. That brings us to an end of this session. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for your questions. Thank you to my colleague Callie, and thank you to Miracle from the TEL team for supporting. We hope to see you guys studying with us at some point in the future. Do send us your questions if you have any. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll see you around. Bye bye.